When I was growing up, my parents would cook Chinese food for my sister and I. Some of my childhood favorites were egg and tomato, 西红柿炒鸡蛋, shredded potato, 土豆丝, and slow-braised pork belly, 红烧肉. Some of these dishes were the first words I ever learned in Mandarin, and I still crave these foods in college. One day in elementary school, I brought some of my parents' home-cooked food, and I still remember my friends and classmates calling it weird, smelly, and un-American. I asked my parents to make ham and cheese sandwiches from then on. Early on, I learned that the food I loved so much was a mark of my racial difference, and tried to avoid exposing this truth to my friends. At birthday parties, we would order pizza, and I would cringe when my parents would offer their delicious homemade Chinese food to my white peers. But no matter what, I couldn't run away from my food culture, as much as I couldn't run away from my ethnic identity. Instead, I began to embrace the food I ate, and started to learn that this food was a really cool combination of both Chinese and American influences. I had thought that the food my parents cooked in our Minnesota home was the exact same as the dishes they ate growing up. But I later learned that these dishes were often revisions, updates, and modifications of the recipes they ate back home, simply based on available ingredients or changing tastes. I realized that this food, like me, was utterly Chinese American, not fully one or the other, and it could still be delicious. One of my favorite dishes, egg and tomato, is pretty self-explanatory. Sautéed egg and tomato with a little bit of salt, sugar, and soy sauce. But my parents sometimes add ketchup or tomato paste, which aren't exactly traditional Chinese ingredients, but which really bring out the flavors of the dish. Now, as I cook for myself at school, I look for ways to recreate recipes from my childhood and improvise on recipes without fearing that I'm not being fully authentic. These dishes are mine and my family's. They're influenced from a lot of different sources, and they are true to my identity and tastes, and that makes them authentic enough. My dishes might look or taste a little different because I care a lot about food waste and sustainable sourcing of ingredients. Buying local and reducing the amount of meat I eat are two ways I've adapted this cuisine to reflect my values. But I am still able to call the food I eat Chinese American food because these dishes stem from my Chinese American identity, community, and experiences.